then, good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Sammy, United People's TV. It's not Monday to Friday, it's Saturday. Hopefully going to be starting these as a regular show because I've decided that I'd rather do a live show with you all in the morning on Saturday rather than a pre-recorded video. I suppose it depends on whether there's a game going on or not. But look, anyway, we're not normally here on a Saturday, but we are today. Unfortunately, we're speaking about who had Mason Mount down as the injury that's going to balance it all out. Anybody? I thought the Wan-Bissaka maybe going to the African Cup of Nations with DR Congo might have balanced that out. I thought Facundo Pellistri maybe getting an injury during the international break might have balanced that out. Nope. It's Mason Mount being out for a month. So I'm gonna speak through the news that broke yesterday. It's been confirmed, and yeah, I've written it down there. So Man United's injury problems now they are beyond a joke. And it's only going to get worse, in my opinion. I don't mean that to be like a doom monger. It's just when you look at our fixture list, you realize, yeah, it's definitely going to get worse. So this is going to be a different slot for here for United People's TV. So I don't imagine many of you are going to tune in. But hopefully we can build up all of you guys and girls, and then you'll know that I'm doing these on the Saturday morning as well. Not everybody will get their notifications, all that jazz. Who's here from the member gangs? Let's have a look. Carl, good morning to you. You're tuning in. Josh, I see you there. Daisy, Saeed, Barry White, very nice. Mr. Anderson, I'm Potato. How you doing, man? Stuart, John, Damien, Joe, Andrew on Facebook, Gavin Thompson, Randolph, Abiona, Craig Knowles, Trevor Cooper, Aldiane, Wilmot, and Idris Ibrahim. Good morning to all of you. Hey, look. Let's have a quick half an hour chat, all right? Let me cover the news that there is, and then let's head into the weekend, and then, well, we'll see. The first thing I want to say here, right? Did you see this from Pep Guardiola yesterday? Everyone wants to see City punished. Yeah. Because you breached financial rules for not one, not two, not 3, 4, 5, over a 9-year period with 115 charges. You are damn right that everyone wants to see City punished for the integrity of the game, which, let's be honest, that's kind of been sort of washed away over the last few years. Did you see that he said, oh yeah, I'll be with City when we're down in League One? Please make that happen. Football gods up there, counting on you for this one, because it has to happen. Jerry just joined Saturday stream. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. I know, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be exactly the same as it is Monday to Friday, but I'm just going to start doing them on Saturdays as well. Something very exciting that I want to announce is, look, United People's TV. I've been doing this. I've been running this on my own for sod knows how many years. Built a really cool team at this moment in time, but we're at the point now where we can expand and can offer genuinely 2 really exciting roles. I'm just going to say to anybody here, if you've got the experience, this isn't just about being a member of the community and wanting to come on board. If you've got experience, then we've got 2 paid positions here at United People's TV, both a social media manager position and a social media producer position. So if you go on, I'll send you the tweet here. This is the tweet with the details, right? All you need to do if you want to apply, you can slide into my DMs on Twitter or send me an email, info@thepeoplesperson.com. And it's cool. It would be amazing if there's a member of the community that really has experience inside this and wants to get involved. That would be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, genuinely 2 paid positions, and there's not going to be many people that can offer that. Not in the United space. So I feel like we're in a privileged position to be able to do that. And it would be awesome if it was a member of the community that came through and helped United People's TV keep going upwards. But big up to all of you. As I said, everything that we make, we reinvest to make it bigger and better. Alex saying, morning, Sam. Always watch your videos after work. Doing a live Saturday stream means I can finally join in live. I did think that there's going to be quite a few people who watch on Saturday because they can't during the week. So you're one of them. How you doing, man? Sorry about that. But look, come on, let's waste no time. I say waste no time. It's 5 minutes before we get into the news. Maybe that is wasted time. I don't think it is. Let's talk about the main story of today's show, right? Mason Mount picked up an injury, and it looks like he's going to be out for a month. Now, this lad here inside of United, I think I think it was like with the Wan-Bissaka news. I think that was the first time where he was he clearly had inside info. He really does have inside info. Put this out a few hours before anybody else. Mason Mount is going to be out for a month with a calf injury. And I want to know what's your immediate reactions to that, right? You can let me know in the comments below, okay? And I'll read what you think. I mean, I think I know what you think about it. And I'm going to give my opinion, but there's going to be people. I think I saw it on United Stand last night. Ten Hag to blame. Oh, well done. Well done then. So that's okay. So that's going to empower everybody to stop really pointing the fingers at Ten Hag. Well done then. That's what you should be doing as United. Yeah, nice. Not divisive at all. I put it down there at the bottom, right? It's gone beyond the joke because it is. I kind of almost said it in jest that Luke Shaw coming back. Okay, who's going to get injured to balance it out? Just like when Kobe Mainoo came back and then Casemiro got injured until the new year. Luke Shaw came back and now Mason Mount's going to be injured for a month. I'm going to go down and see what you're saying in the comments. Oh, shit, here we go again, says Anuj. Yeah, well, that meme is extremely applicable to this situation. Ray, how you doing, buddy? I can catch a live stream on Saturday. How you doing, man? The injuries been killing us all season long. Chris saying, how is Mount getting injured when he doesn't play? Is Keno turning up to training and tackling everyone? Injury prone, injury god strike. How are we getting injuries when we haven't been playing? Now, you know what, for me, I think the thing that I find most concerning about the Mason Mount injury is this. When it comes to why Manchester United are getting so many injuries, it would be foolish of me to suggest that Ten Hag isn't part of the puzzle, right? Isn't part of the reasoning. To just stand there and say Ten Hag is to blame is just, it's such an incendiary statement that really is dumb because it does not take into account all the other mitigating factors that have happened from all the games we played last season. This is why this Mason Mount one injury probably concerns me, I think, more than the others, right? And I'll explain why. So many of our players last season played more games than anybody. They had the World Cup. They had all of this, like constant football, right? And then Ten Hag's intense style. We didn't rotate much last season. Then the preseason that was commercial and all the flying. There's so many reasons as to why we're getting injured, maybe more than other teams. Well, not maybe more than other teams. And then there's Mason Mount. And this is a Mason Mount who hardly kicked a ball for Chelsea last season. Didn't go to the World Cup with England, did he? Don't think he did. Last season, Mount's fatigue levels were nowhere near the same sort of fatigue levels that the majority of the Manchester United squad had. So for him to pick up, is it a hamstring injury? I think it was like a week or two into the season. I think it was that. Out for 5 weeks. And now Mason Mount here, again, picking up a non-contact calf injury, right? It's going to keep him out for another month. That's concerning because you can't really apply the same sort of conversation about all the games in XYZ to Mason Mount. The only thing you can kind of look at is his time at United, his time training with United. Now, a lot of people have fairly been discussing how Erik Ten Hag's intensity in training. You know, we've seen that coming out in the press quite a few times, right? I think it's clearly, I mean, it's definitely happening. Erik Ten Hag's training methods are having what should be a positive impact on the fitness of these players, but it's actually going too far the other side of it. So the players are overworked, so the players aren't recovering in time, and the players are sort of getting, well, they're just pinging muscle injuries. And as I said, I'm not here. I hate being a sort of a doom monger and just like grabbing onto the negatives and focusing on that, right? But it's only going to get worse, okay? The reason I'm saying that is because of this. This is the fixture list that's coming up, right? We play Everton tomorrow on Sunday. On Wednesday, we travel to face Galatasaray in Turkey. 3 days later, we're playing Newcastle away. 4 days later, we're playing Chelsea. 3 days later, we're playing Bournemouth. 3 days later, we're playing Bayern Munich. 5 days later, we're playing Liverpool away. 6 days later, we're playing West Ham away. 3 days later, we're playing Villa. And then 4 days later, we play Forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 games between the 26th of November and the 30th of December. It's going to get worse. I don't know how United are going to navigate this. Like, you know how we're talking about how bad injuries are right now. Expect more, not less, during this period. And the Mason Mount one, man, it's just... Dude's hardly had a chance to really kickstart his United career. When he came back from his injury, he was kind of quietly in the background, but I thought he was playing quite decent. I thought he was playing all right. But now Mason Mount's out. That means I took a look. I'll run through my starting 11 in a little bit. I was saying that there could have been a chance you play McTominay as a false nine with Mount, Bruno, and Amrabat in midfield. That's obviously not going to happen. But he was, and this is what it is. I think part of it is unlucky with the injuries. I think part of it is clearly the training. I think we can all say at this point that the training is impacting these injuries. What percentage it is as a contributor, we don't know. But I think we can all say for certain that it's part of the problem. So that there is something that Ten Hag and his coaching staff, it's gonna have to be. Is it a pride thing? Is it a stubbornness thing? I don't know what it is, but the coaching staff have got to realize and go, you know what? As much as we know that we want these players to be fit and hungry and capable of competing at the very top in every single game, they're probably going to have to say, you know what? Maybe our ambitions with this squad are a little bit ahead of themselves from what they can actually do and what they're physically capable of. And we might have to rein it in for a little bit, make the training a little bit less intense, which, you know, will probably bring its own concerns when the games come along. But it's not as if we've been like ripping into every single game. What was the game we played at Old Trafford where Hannibal and Casemiro both got booked in the first half? Was that Galatasaray? I think it was a Champions League game. I think it was Galatasaray. It was, because that was the one where I think Casemiro got sent off. Am I making this up? Was it a cup game? Either way, that was when United went full tilt and it just really didn't work. I'm going to go down and read a few of your comments down here, right? A super chat there. Let me read that one out first. We've got that from Hakam. What are you saying? 60 million for Mason Mount. Wouldn't 35 for James Ward-Prowse have been better both player-wise and money-wise? I mean, you could say Captain Hindsight there, or maybe people say, no, definitely not Captain Hindsight. I would have always said that. But Ten Hag really went after Mason Mount. For him, he was a central player in his plans. And those plans kind of got chucked out after the first 2 games, playing 2 aggressive number 8s. If we were still playing that, man, our injuries would be even worse. Top Death Angel. Sam, with all these injuries, do you think Ten Hag needs to start looking at the youth team? Well, there's one, and you want me to give you a silver lining to this injury? And there is a silver lining. It comes in the form of Kobbie Mainoo. Because if you watch Kobbie Mainoo throughout his time with the United youth team, I know that in the preseason, we saw him operate as like a kind of a disciplined number 6. Because I think Ten Hag was looking at him going, right, so could Kobbie Mainoo conceivably be like a backup to Casemiro? That's what Ten Hag was testing in the preseason. And from the games he played, you're looking like, oh, yeah, resounding, yeah, you could be a backup to him. But Kobbie Mainoo has a lot more to his game than just being a number 6. He's really good as a ball progressor. Bringing the ball forward, carrying the ball forward. He really will be And this is exciting in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. That there is a silver lining to the Mason Mount injury, and it's the fact that Kobe Mainoo should be put. We've got 10 games coming up in the next 5 weeks. We are going to be seeing Kobe Mainoo start proper start to his Manchester United career. I don't think he'll be starting tomorrow. I think you're going to be looking at a midfield three of, well, I'll run through it: Amrabat, Bruno, and McTominay. But here, I'm happy to know that this lad's going to get minutes. So, and this is probably the sad truth I would say about Mason Mount's injury at this moment in time. I don't think it's going to massively impact too much in this squad. It's not going to massively impact too much about how we play. And I don't think it's going to particularly make us a worse team not having Mason Mount in. And because his influence is, well, he still hasn't really got started. And the injuries have basically stopped that from happening. Actually, as I said, when he came off the bench, I can't remember who it was against. Was it Luton? I think it might have been Luton. And Jonathan, you're saying you still got faith in Mount. I will never, as a United fan, it's kind of the way I operate. You can operate how you want to. I will never write a player off in his first season at Manchester United. I just won't ever do it. I think it's unreasonable. And a lot of football fans are impatient, and a lot of football fans expect immediacy. Now, with Mason Mount, you would think that the logic here is you sign someone who's played in the Premier League, knows what it is, no adaptation time, hit the ground running. And then Ten Hag's system didn't work. And then Mason Mount gets injured, and then he's out for 5 weeks. I hope he comes good. My honest opinion on it, I wish we had spent £60 million on a powerful, ball-carrying, physical central midfield presence. But we didn't. We spent that money on Mason Mount. It doesn't mean that I don't have hope or optimism that he can come good. It's just that if I was Paul Mitchell, if I was in charge of where that money was going this summer, I would have spent 60 mil on signing that midfielder, and I would have spent deadline day trying to find a Mason Mount alternative, rather than spending 60 million on Mason Mount and then deadline day chasing Amrabat. I think the priority was wrong. And I think Ten Hag got that wrong. And Ten Hag should never have had the ability to make that call. It should be down to the team above him, which he didn't have in the summer. So therefore, the manager's going to have to get trusted. It's completely wrong. And Ten Hag got it wrong. But it shouldn't be happening in the first place. Ten Hag's working in the environment he is working in. He's working in an environment where John Murtough says, what do you want? Okay. Who? Right. Doesn't really ask him any questions. Yeah, what? Are you sure about that? You know, we're looking at, or maybe he did. And Ten Hag said, no, sod that. I'm doing this. And because he's the manager, you can't undermine him. Mount injured more than Martial. That's a fib. Graham is saying, are most of these injuries muscle related? If so, it's the training. Yeah, Graham, we've just spoken about that. And yeah, this is a calf injury. I believe Mason Mount's first injury was a hamstring injury. Højlund pulled up with his hamstring. Casemiro, I believe, was a muscular injury. Luke Shaw's, I know, was a muscular injury. Lisandro Martinez was obviously his metatarsal. What other injuries we had? Sod them, everybody's been injured. Wan-Bissaka, I think that was muscular as well. I think the majority of Man United's big injuries this season have been muscular. All right, I'm going to go down there and see what you're saying. I like answering your questions. That's what the show's all about, engaging and interactive. Jonathan, how you doing on Facebook? Why do you think he changed his system after such a good season? I think it was the lack of goals. He wanted Kane, as usual, wasn't backed. I wouldn't say that we weren't back for Kane. Like, realistically, man, we were never going to be paying, what was it? If we had signed Harry Kane, it would have been 140 mil, something like that. We haven't, as it stands, we just do not have that money. As much as it pains you to say, we just do not have that money. What are we saying down here? Someone down there, I didn't support the signing of Mason Mount from day one. I did, man. I understood it. I saw where the tactics were going, and it's exactly what Ten Hag did. But the system didn't work. I think Ten Hag put an overestimation of how good Casemiro was gonna be in that role, left him isolated, and his legs just didn't have legs just didn't have it really. Um, the two number eights were way over committing. It wasn't a flawless system by the time that the Wolves game came around. It was a system that clearly the players had been working on, but they hadn't got it perfect yet. And we saw that against Wolves. Jonathan, you're down there saying, "Oh, Kane paid Bayern paid 85 million for Kane." It's completely irrelevant how much Bayern Munich paid. We would have had to pay like 130, 140, and we all know that's true. But yeah, this Mason Mount injury, as I said, the thing that concerns me the most about it is the fact that Mason Mount wasn't a United player last season. He wasn't playing 60-odd games a season. He didn't go to the World Cup. And even he, despite not having that same level of fatigue in his legs, is picking up multiple muscle-related injuries at Man United. Therefore, that's from his time at United. Therefore, there's something... Oh, wrong one. Therefore... geez, wrong picture. Bloody hell. Therefore, there's something wrong with the training. And Eric, that's on you to change that. Because if we don't, this fixture pilot that we got coming up, it's going to be painful. It's going to be damaging. But let's move on. Little 10, 15-minute chat here. So Mount was at the World Cup. Honestly, I couldn't remember whether Mount was at the World Cup or not. Did he play much? Can't remember. Well, he didn't play much with Chelsea. All right, that's all I know. Everton. We spoke about this on the stream yesterday. Like, what are the odds? Look at that. Everton 36%, United 37%. I'll be honest, going into the game, I think a lot of United fans are feeling maybe a little bit more likely Everton. I hope not. The thing is, and this is the statement which applies and is true about United every single game. If this team turns up, if we play how we should be able to play, then we have more than enough to beat Everton. However, that team rarely turns up. Rarely turns up. It's saying that, like, you know what they say, like, oh, the sign of champions win when you're playing crap. United have been playing crap all season, right? Well, I mean legitimately all season. I think we spoke about it, and if you're speaking about Premier League performances, I'll ask you again now. Actually, just Premier League performances. When have United played well this season? Right. Again, I don't mean to be like doom mongering. I'm asking that as a genuine question. What performances do you remember in the Premier League where you've gone, you know what? United look really good here. I would say I remember the first 20 minutes against Spurs thinking, sorry, first 20 minutes against Spurs, I'm thinking that was good. I was really enjoying that. And obviously, we collapsed in the second half. I'd say the overall performance against Arsenal going into that 88th minute winner from Garnacho that got scratched off. I thought we played well there. I'm trying to think who else we played. City, we got tanked. Brighton, we got tanked. Brentford, 2 last-minute winners from Atomic, which is great, but you shouldn't be relying on last-minute winners. Wolves, we just about crept past Wolves. Palace, we lost. Forest, was that the one we were 2-0 down and we won 3-2? I mean, technically, that's the best thing that United have done this, but it is dregs. You are scraping that barrel. And despite all of that, we're sitting there in 6th. I hope that Ten Hag's right, and I hope this team does click. But boy, oh boy, what a game I can see down here is City first 10 minutes, last 10 minutes versus Brentford. Palace, yeah, Glenn, I know Palace in the Cup's the best performance this season, but that's a Cup performance, and it was, you can't take too much from Cups. You have to focus on the league, in my opinion, anyway. Well, that's how bad we've been. Like, you can't pull a game out where everyone's like, yeah, it was obviously that game. It was like, well, if you take the 10 minutes of this game and the 20 minutes of that game and the last 5 of that game, put them together, and there's a performance. So we are 12 games in, and we are yet to perform for a full 90 in the league. First 40 minutes against Copenhagen. Oh, man, that was good until that Rashford red. By the way, the Rashford red's been confirmed as a 1-game ban, not a 2-game suspension. I thought they were just going to slap him with an extra one. I genuinely did. But yeah, James Zucker's calling it a bear pit, Goodison Park on Sunday, and it really, really will be. United are just unlucky in this sense. You know, it's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. I think the word luck is misused a lot in life. I think it's just applied to situations that I'm particularly lucky. It's just you kind of work yourself into a position where you can take advantage of something. Success is when preparation meets opportunity. That kind of sticks in my head quite a lot. But United are just unlucky with this Everton one, the timing of it. Okay, it's completely out of anybody's hands, completely out of anyone's control. It's like the new manager bounce. You're kind of unlucky if you go into a new manager bounce, and United are unlucky to be going to Goodison Park to be playing Everton in their first game since they've been docked 10 points. All right. Something that's a positive for United, for sure, is that Amadou Onana will not be fit to play. Now, I'm not actually sure what their midfield's going to be. But I saw this from Samuel Luckhurst, and I was like, it made me scratch my head. I'm sitting there reading like, James Garner will start against United tomorrow, and United could do with him in their midfield. I'm sitting there going, honestly, I might be wrong here. You let me know in the comments. Is there any United fan who's going to be looking at James Garner going, damn, we wouldn't have the midfield problems if we had James Garner. Oh, we let that one go. Is there anybody that thinks that? Genuinely curious. Because I looked at that and I had to do a double take. I was like, James Garner. I know he had promise. I know he's been a decent player at Everton, but looking at James Garner going, really? Kind of feels like just like twisting the knife. That one there. A few of you down there who are agreeing with me in the comments. Maybe there is. I just thought that was a really weird attempt to sort of twist the knife into Man United's like trying to. Trust me, we got so much wrong. And the only reason we sold James Garner was just to get a little bit of profit. Actually, what was it? What was the reason we sold him? There was a particular reason. I can't remember. But yeah, I don't think anybody's looking at that. But at least Amadou Onana will not be playing. That really is good for news for United, because if I'm looking at someone who's going to be that ball carrier, that powerhouse who just runs through the midfield, we can't really do anything against, you will be looking here at Amadou Onana. There's a super chat there. Let me read this one out. I'm Potato, how you doing, man? Here's 20 reasons to cheer you up. Well, there's 2 reasons. 3 reasons, actually. 2 there from you. And 3 because you're here. I'm Potato versus Garlic Bread Man. We still need that Royal Rumble. Why do most people think Everton is going to beat us, says Oleo. Well, dude, I don't think I need to tell you, but United have not coped well in hostile atmospheres, closed atmospheres. Goodison Park, you can go to certain stadiums, right? You can go to certain stadiums, and they're massive, huge, daunting in their size, right? But there are stadiums which are daunting in their proximity. And Goodison Park is one of those. The first seats are about 5 yards away from the touchline. Whoever's playing on United's wings, they are going to hear it in their ear. Andre Onana in goal. It's going to be hearing it. It's going to be a loud stadium, and it's going to be properly everyone against us, like a whole club and a whole fan base, and likely a team that's going to feel wronged by the Premier League. And they are going to have that siege mentality together. So if United do not come out of the blocks. It's not that United have to come out of the blocks firing against Everton. We have to do our absolute utmost to pop the bubble. Now, the best way to do that is to get a nice early goal, but that's probably dreaming, all right? But for the first 20 minutes against Everton on Sunday, honestly, this is how you need to approach every away game, but in particular, this game here. And probably the same on Wednesday, and probably the same on Saturday. You just can't concede in the first 20 because the crowd is so G'd up anyway. If you let them score, they are going to be off the scale. And United's players, they will wilt in that environment. They've shown that so many times. And it is just unlucky that we're playing them at this time. No, man, look at that. I'm Potato joining in on the Saturday show. I was on the Saturday show on the BBC once. And gifting 20. Oh, man, you gifted 20. You hero. What a dude. Please join the community. By the way, can I say here quickly, big old spank. Jeez. Tomorrow, I will be doing the armed in the Discord, all right? I've done this twice now, and there's only been like 10 or 15 of you who've joined in, so it's kind of like a little personal show. Cool. But if you'd like to join in, and there's 20 more of you can join in now, there's the Discord, completely free. Come in there as a community. We're going to be launching soon just a lot more ways to make it an engaging home. Because you as a community, I think, deserve more than what I've currently given you in the Discord. So we're going to be launching some quizzes, some weekly trivia, some more Q&As with me. And I've been saying that for a while. I promise I'm working towards it. I always have been. But yeah, let me know what you think about the game itself and my start 11. All right, because I'm going to run through what I did yesterday, my start 11 video. John, you're saying United teams of years ago would not melt in a hostile atmosphere? No, they wouldn't. But just there's such little part of this United team now. There he is, right there. Man, the man who set the tone. You'd be kind of terrified of putting in an abysmal performance because you'd have to face Keane in the dressing room after. It's Anyway, let's run through my starting 11, and I want you to let me know what you think about it in the comments, right? This is what I went for. I went for a back five of Onana, Reguilon on the left with Luke Shaw as left centre-back, Maguire as right centre-back, and Wan-Bissaka at right-back. Joe, Discord is so confusing. Go back to Telegram. Simple. Nope, that's not happening. Not at all. Telegram was simple. It was crap. It was like a WhatsApp chat for like 3,000 people, which is impossible to have a conversation in. Discord, I promise you, Joe, go on to the community tab. There is a video from me explaining Discord. It's not even slightly confusing. It might look daunting at the start. Mods are there to help you through. Anybody. We're all there to help you into the community. And trust me, it's a million times better. I can't say that enough times without you coming in and trying it. But look, I think this is going to be the team. Amrabat and McTominay, I think, will probably go for more of a double pivot. Bruno there is a number 10 with a front three of Rashford, Martial, and Anthony. That's what I think is going to happen. You can let me know in the comments below. Is Rashi banned? Rashford is banned for... He's banned for the Galatasaray game on Wednesday, but he's not banned for this game. All right. People are asking whether I think Luke Shaw will come straight back in. Thing is here, right? Luke Shaw's been in full training for 2 weeks. It's something Ten Hag said. So it's not as if those pictures of Shaw from training on Thursday, like that's his like first training session. No, I think Shaw's been in there the whole time during the international break, clearly training and working his way up. And he looked fit. As much as you can tell from a 10-second video and as much as you can tell from photos. If he's fit, I think he comes straight back in this team. And in my opinion, I think he goes in at left centre-back. Geez, the arguments that we are having in this United fan base around left centre-back right now. And Raphael Varane, which I will speak about next. Paul, you don't think that Luke Shaw will start? Hey, Luke Shaw might not start, right? If Luke Shaw doesn't start, I think you probably, you kind of know how it's going to go. Or maybe you don't actually. You're likely just to see that, I suppose. And then maybe Delo there is left back. I don't really know. In an ideal situation, I think I would prefer to see this. Right? That's my opinion. I'd rather play James Garner. I like that. Martial playing up front. Honestly. Just prove me wrong, Martial, man. Please. Just make me look like an idiot. Make it so that somebody clips up a video of me and it goes viral of me slagging off Martial just before he scores a hat-trick at Goodison Park. I'd love that. I would love to. I don't mind being the fall guy for that. But, dude, I'm so done with Martial. I was done with Martial last season. And there's been absolutely nothing I've seen this season that changes my mind. Now, you could play Rashford through the middle, and you could play Garnacho on the left. I don't think this is a game for Garnacho from the start, in my opinion. I think Garnacho can absolutely impact this game, but I believe he impacts it from the bench. And maybe Højlund does too, all right? Højlund's in training. There's going to be a late fitness test, so he might be fit to play a few minutes. I personally wouldn't want to see him. I would rather see him get a few more days rest and see what he can do in the Champions League. And maybe if that, not even that, just bring him back for Newcastle next weekend. I don't know. But I already ran through your predictions yesterday. My prediction for the game is a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to, and I'll be honest, I take that. I'd definitely take a draw right now. You might say that's, where's the ambition? It's Everton, blah, blah, blah. In the circumstances of what's happened with their club and the point deduction and what our form is. I mean, our form is, yes, but the overall performances and how we play currently and in hostile atmospheres, I would take a draw. Not that I think United would be going into this with like a draw like, oh, yeah, we'll take a draw, blah, blah, blah. But I definitely would. Midfield, I'm not sure what other midfield could you play? You've got Eriksen, Casemiro, and Mount all injured. Van der Beek, who's a ghost, doesn't really exist. You could play Hannibal, or Ahmad's still injured. Geez, look at that. You got 4 injuries in a ghost, and then you got 2 more midfielders that you could play: Mainu and Hannibal. You could say it's a game for Hannibal because he'll be up for it, but I think we showed against Galatasaray being up for it is half the battle. Pressing is half the battle. Pressing smartly is the hard thing. Because Hannibal's got the energy. He's got the enthusiasm. I imagine Mainu does as well. But only goes so far. Nobody wants headless chickens running around. It's got to be down to a tactical situation. I don't think Mainu's going to be starting this game. Personal opinion. There is every chance that he comes on, though. And if we're looking at subs, let's put them all over here. What our bench is likely to look like. Pellistri, I think, is injured, so he can join this gang up there. Is that all you're looking at? As sort of attacking subs? I think that's all you're looking at. I don't know if I'm missing anyone. Garnacho, Hannibal, and Mainu. And depending if Højlund's fit, whether Højlund makes the bench. And then you're just looking at, man, our injuries are a joke. Injured. Is he fit? He is fit, but hardly. Lindelof, Heaton's injured. Oh my God, it is a joke. We're saying down here, Mark, you're going for a 2-2 draw. Hannibal will get sent off in a game like this, says Ant. We managed to avoid the red the other day, but it was just like, he could have easily got sent off. Remember that game? Got a really early yellow that was just like, dude, that was such a dumb yellow card. And because he plays full tilt, when you take that aggression out of Hannibal's game, you kind of take away Hannibal as a player. But yeah, the bookies have got United down as favourites by 1%, apparently. I'm not sure I would ever say that United were going to be going into this as favourites. 1-0 win, says Jerry. 2-0 win, says Gaminda. If we see Mainu start, we need to be at least 1-0 up. Well, he's not. Yeah, can't start 1-0 up. But look, there's one final conversation I want to have before we wrap up today's show, and it's the Saturday show. As I said, I was on a Saturday show. I won like a phoning competition. I won a holiday to Butlins, and I met Atomic Kitten and A1. I know. The next week, the prize was a trip to Universal Studios, and you met Anne Robinson, and you went on a set The Weakest Link. And that was top tier TV at that point. Top tier, elite TV. Instead, I went and saw A1 and Atomic Kitten. And I got a surfboard signed by Atomic Kitten that I sold. That is such a weird story. It doesn't sound true, but it's completely true. And you think it's going to be edgy? It will be edgy, man. And if United allow this atmosphere on Sunday to get edgy, to get temper fueled, the only team that's going to benefit from that is Everton. It won't help us. So we've got to try and deflate that game and deflate that stadium as much as possible. That might mean wasting a bit of time. That might mean going down. That might mean a little bit of the dark arts, I think, might be required on Sunday. We're going to have to try and gain an advantage from wherever. Josh, a big Atomic Kitten fan down there. Fair enough. I see. But look, can we... that's a bit harsh. You are the weakest link. Indeed. I should get like a voice synthesizer where I can become Anne Robinson. Ten Hag speaking about Varane. All right. Ten Hag speaking about Varane. There has been so much conversation around this week. And I've spoken to you about it in a lot of detail. Now, this might be a lot of text to pull up on screen, so take your time reading it. But I kind of vocalized what I felt about the Varane injury. It's like, so many people are like, Ten Hag has fallen out with Varane. It's a broken relationship. It's another player. Oh, it's Sancho and it was Ronaldo. And now it's Varane. It goes, oh, what a crap man manager and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, dudes and dudettes. Is that a word? Dudettes? Don't know. Some people just can't accept the fact that Ten Hag does not think Varane is comfortable on his left foot. You might disagree with that opinion, and that's fine. But that's why he's not playing. It's not because of a broken relationship. And it's pissing me off that people are suggesting otherwise. And look, as I said, if you want to have some anger towards this situation, just have anger towards Ten Hag's obsession with passing angles. That's where you should be angry about. But people are now going to use that as evidence of Ten Hag mismanaging the squad, Ten Hag being a bad man manager. It's just like you are just looking for something to further your narrative that just is not there. And all that is just negativity, squeezing it into the club. Ten Hag is to blame for Mason Mount's injury. Ten Hag has broken a relationship with Raphael Varane. It reads like the Daily Star. And people gobble, gobble, gobble. United fans, gobble, gobble, gobble. And it's frustrating. It's like you're trying to fight the good fight here. You're trying to fight the fight that, might help our football team rather than go against it. But instead, it's just, it staggers me. Right? Laurie Whitwell publishing this morning. Look, yeah, of course Varane's frustrated, dude. This guy's won 4 Champions Leagues. And he's sat there on the bench behind Johnny Bloody Evans. I mean, that's kind of a sick joke when you think about it. But Ten Hag clearly does not feel he is comfortable to play on his left foot. And I'll tell you what, who do I trust? The opinion of some anonymous Twitter account or the opinion of my coach who watches Varane week in, week out? I'm trusting my coach. And there was some stats in this Athletic article that came out, and I read them, and I was like, bloody hell! Look at this. Availability has been an issue for Varane. He played 5,031 minutes out of a possible 9,960 in all competitions in his first 2 seasons at Manchester United. Read that and sort of absorb it. In his first 2 seasons, He wasn't available for 49% of the minutes of the entire season. That's madness. That's a proper like, whoa. 50% of his first 2 seasons at the club, he was unavailable. And that's one of them. And that, if you're looking at strengths of Maguire, absolutely availability is one of them. He was the first, I think, United player since. I think I always get this stat wrong. I think it was the first player since Gary Pallister to play every minute of a Premier League season. It's why I went into this season with massive concerns over Raphael Varane. This isn't Captain Hindsight speaking. I spoke about these in the summer. I spoke about these at the end of the season. I love what Varane did with Martinez. That partnership was probably the best partnership, centre-back partnership we've had since, well, for last season. For a long old time. I don't want to say since Rio and Vidic because they're nowhere near that. They're nowhere near that. But that's why Varane gave up on international football. He didn't want to. Not gave up, sorry. He retired from international football because he realised from a body perspective, I need to do what I can to maximise my club career potential, longevity. I've already won the World Cup with France. I think I've already done that. But still, he missed 50% of his first 2 seasons at United. That's staggering. Now, Laurie Whitwell says, he's not thinking about. Honestly, I'd almost be more surprised if Saudi Arabia didn't come in with a pretty decent bid for Varane in January. I really, really would be. Not surprised. I kind of confused that one. Sandman, I didn't know there was a Saturday stream. Lots of people didn't know there was a Saturday stream. I did put it in the Discord, if you're in there. I'm going to be doing these from now on. Saturday morning shows are going to become a regular staple on United People's TV. And I think we should sell Varane. Imagine this. There is a genuine possibility now. In fact, I would probably say it's likely. It's likely that Raphael Varane leaves this club before Harry Maguire. Like the change that is going to happen with our centre-backs over the next, November? Next 8-9 months is going to be, it's going to be wholesale. Because you're looking at Raphael Varane, I think, will be sold. Harry Maguire will be sold. Johnny Evans is going to be released. That's 3 centre-backs. We'll only have Martinez and Lindelof left. Unless I'm forgetting someone. Am I forgetting anyone? Just got to... Might be. Lindelof, Maguire, Martinez, Varane, Johnny Evans. No, I'm not. They're the 5 centre-backs of the club. 3 of them are definitely going. Varane, Maguire, and Evans. And then Martinez has missed the majority of the season. And Victor Lindelof is like a... I'd always be fine with Lindelof being a squad member, but seriously. Like you won't see many less aggressive centre-backs than Lindelof. He's almost dainty. And he's got a big physique too. But just doesn't carry himself very well. But yeah, man, these wholesale changes are coming. Yeah, that stat there just sort of like blew my mind. He's missed 50% of all the minutes in his first 2 seasons. Availability is important. It really, really is. And look, everyone's saying that those close to Rafa Varane, he just needs the game time to get rhythm again. Well, that's the position that Harry Maguire was in. And then Harry Maguire got in the team and he found his rhythm. And there's no chance that you can put in Rafa Varane ahead of Maguire. You can't do it. Not on form. And you know I'm a big advocate of form. People say, oh, you're such a hypocrite, Sam. What about Marcus Rashford this and Marcus Rashford and blah, blah, blah. And people just think this like the blanket, I suppose the blanket rule should apply to a certain degree. Anthony, mate, I hope to God he does something against Everton. I think it's a good game for him to start in because it will be a bit of a dogfight, and that's exactly the games where he's good at. He's nowhere near an 80 million pound player. And again, that shouldn't have been. Ten Hag should not have been allowed to spend that much money on him. And you wouldn't have done that if you had someone who took the transfers away from him. First of all, because we would have tried to sign Anthony about 6 weeks before we did. So it would have been half the price. Let me see what you're saying down here in the comments. Availability is the best ability. I wouldn't say it's the best ability, but it's rather significant. And that's probably one of Maguire's greatest strengths, is his fitness record. So you want to choose with Evans and Maguire and Lindelof. I don't know what that comment is. Evans should be leaving. Maguire should be sold. Varane should be sold. We should be buying someone like Jean-Claire Todibo. And I think we need to get a left centre-back next season who is arguably going to be better than Martinez, because we need that competition. I trust that Martinez won't see that as an offence. I think Martinez will see that as, okay, I'm at an elite level club. Of course, there will be 2 players in every single position. That's how it works. So we need another Martinez in terms of quality, and we need 2 of them at right centre back. In my opinion, we need 3 top level centre back signings this summer. We're not going to make 3 top level centre back signings in the next 2 windows, winter and the summer. Spoiler alert, all right? I think we might make 2. Probably 2, and then, geez, you might probably keep Johnny Evans for another year. That can't happen, can it? I suppose it can. It might do. Right, last few minutes of the show. I'm just going to answer your questions. Oh, man, look at that, Alex. You joined in as well. 5. Thank you so much, dude. Nice to see you here on the Saturday morning show. The Saturday show. I used to watch, was it Live and Kicking? And then it was SMTV Live and CD UK. And it was the Saturday show on BBC One. Saturday mornings as a kid in the 90s. They were great. Let's have football training. Then it kind of got in the way. But you typically wouldn't have training on Saturday because you've got a game on Sunday. I think my training used to be on like a Wednesday. Something like that. I think we should get Inacio and Silva, says Stuart. Man, there's a lot. You've got Diamande, you've got Inacio, you've got Branthwaite from Everton, who keep an eye on him on Sunday. Do not be surprised if United go in for him. Very good centre-back. Very good young English centre-back, who definitely is on United's list. You've got Diamande from Sporting. You've got Inacio from Sporting. You've got Silva from Benfica, I think. You've got Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen. You've got Todibo from Nice. Man, the knowledge is there. There's a lot still up there somehow. Sam, I don't see us getting top 5 at our squad, says Ain. Hey, look. Let's find out. Top 5 might be enough for the Champions League. As it stands, no, I don't think we're getting top 5. Not in the form that we're playing, or the lack of form that we've got. But if we can somehow get some momentum at some point, I don't know when this momentum is going to come. And I'll be honest, of all the weeks, I think a week where you play Everton away, Galatasaray away, and Newcastle away is highly unlikely to be the week where you build momentum. I'm just being truthful there. It's not doom mongering. It's highly unlikely to be the week where our performances really click. This is going to be a survival of the fittest week, which has kind of been the United season so far. To track this, what happened to Mason Mount? Calf injury. Another non-impact injury, probably related to training. Rays, how you doing, man? Nice to see you there rejoining. He's back in the gang, I can see down there. See what else he's saying down there. 7 before the season started top 8 would be a decent finish. But, you know, Joe Warren Mountains are there to be climbed. Who was it that said that? Was that Solskjaer before PSG? If my knowledge has got that too, I'm just going to... You know what I'll do, actually? Let's whip this out. I always keep this on the desk. I always mean to, like, do this. Quiz and puzzles. Let me ask you a couple of these. See if I can find a good one. I don't want to do a crossword on it. That's crap. All right. Found some questions. Right. Let me get the answers first. That's a good question. I don't actually know that one. I want to guess. I think I guessed that. Just getting the answer. So I didn't realize that the bloody answer at the back. Really annoying. Number 33. There we go. Right, number 3. Oh, yeah, mate. I got it right. All right, you ready for the question? That's not cheating, Tony. I'm trying to get the answers for you. Who netted United's first ever Premier League goal? I got it right. I promise. I can't prove to you I got it right, I suppose. Yeah, who scored our first ever Premier League goal? Let's see who gets it first. Everyone has a quiz, don't they? Quizzes are great. Yes, Dave Piercy on Facebook. Straight in there. No messing. Bam. Mark Hughes. Man, he scored some. The way he volleyed the ball. Let's get one more. That was a good one. Cantona scored the first hat-trick in the Premier League. Didn't know that. How many hat-tricks did he score for Manchester United in the Premier League in total? How many hat-tricks did Eric Cantona score? Oh, he's waiting down here. Let's see what he's saying. There's been no correct answers so far. I'll read the question again because you kind of got to think. Eric Cantona scored the first hat-trick in the Premier League. How many hat-tricks did he score for Manchester United in total in the Premier League? Reese, ya cheeky git. I don't know why I called you cheeky git. It was 0. He never scored a hat-trick for United. The hat-trick that he scored was for Leeds. Trick question. Woo! I don't know why I just did that. 0. Cantona never scored a hat-trick for us. Damn. Do you remember like Ronaldo only scored 1 hat-trick for us? That was against Newcastle. And then the bastard just went on to score like so many hat-tricks elsewhere. Anyway, that was a good little fun. That was a fun little end. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in today on the first Saturday show that we've done in a while. I'm going to make these a staple of the channel from now on. All right. I'm going to try and get here every single Saturday. So we'll go live Monday to Saturday instead of Monday to Friday. I love the community ones. I love the interactions. 20 of you were privileged to be gifted a membership by Mr. Potato, and 5 more of you from Alex. It's 25 of you. Please join the Discord, all right? There we go, down there. Right, that's the free one. The arms won't be later on today, Alex. The arms will be tomorrow. Close the games tomorrow. The arms will be open tomorrow for members. Make sure you join. It's all in the Discord. If you need help, tag one of the mods. I think I saw Joe down there saying he went on and nobody helped him. There's mods there that are trying to help, all right? We're trying to bring more mods in as well. Have a fantastic Saturday. I'll be here tomorrow with my match reaction. It's not going to be an enjoyable game to watch. Prepare yourselves. Hopefully for a nice surprise, but probably not.